Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Well, major business developments from the nation's capital because Abu Dhabi has just decided to reduce business setup fees and also license renewal fees to 1,000 dirhams. But federal fees will continue to apply. So what's going on there? The business setup fees in Abu Dhabi has been reduced to 1,000 dirhams. That's a reduction of more than 90%. License renewal fees also have been reduced to 1,000 dirhams as well. And this is a result of collaborative efforts by the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development in collaboration with multiple government entities, including Abu Dhabi Chamber of Commerce and Industry as well. So the new fees will be effective starting tomorrow, July 27th. And again, federal fees will continue to apply. This move really is there to significantly enhance ease of doing business in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and increase the nation's capital's competitiveness regionally and internationally, really. And the introduction of a fixed fee will increase transparency as well. It will reduce administration for investors. It will attract investors, indeed. And it also supports Abu Dhabi government's efforts to create even more a thriving business environment for the private sector, especially for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises.
Yeah, and on the Twitter account of Abu Dhabi Media Office, they're saying the new fees include 6 activities within the business license and will cover all fees from Abu Dhabi government entities, such as the Department of Municipalities and Transport, membership fees from the Abu Dhabi Chamber, certificate of conformity, issuance fee, and fees required by Abu Dhabi regulating entities. Also fees for the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development as well. So several fees have also been removed entirely, while others have been considerably reduced.
Yeah, this is a big move as well, and this builds on what's happened last year when the UAE Central Bank introduced a 100 billion dirham stimulus package as well. So hopefully this is going to encourage other entities and other chambers of commerces or even free zone authorities to consider offering a lesser rate for renewals. Look, usually a license renewal is one of the most expensive and trickiest moments for any business where they consider saying how much money can they make in the years ahead and is it viable to continue to run and operate their businesses. There's a lot of people who sadly folded their own operations, startups mainly, and especially the businesses that were very, very fragile and volatile to such a mass disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, where there are limited partners with limited financial strength, and once they start losing out on it, the first thing they do is just fold the operations, and that's it, the end of a dream. This aspect or this initiative is expected to help those entrepreneurs massively who were reconsidering their plans of continuing or not. And now, once Abu Dhabi's done it, I think a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of free zone authorities will now look at this scenario and think, what else can we do apart from the usual 10 to 20% discounts on special cases for certain businesses? If you make it uniform and say, you know what, instead of charging you 25,000 or 30,000 to renew your licenses, here's a flat fee of at least 10,000, for example. That would be a huge benefit to those small and medium-sized enterprises.
Absolutely. The UAE in general has become a new paradise, really, for investors and investors, really, and entrepreneurs in recent years. The interest to establish a regional presence or a business has been growing day by day from businesses all over the world. And thanks, obviously, to those economic reforms that we are undertaken by forward-looking governments or by our forward-looking government, especially with this initiative and also the 100% foreign ownership that we also discussed. So that's also incredible, and that will definitely facilitate a lot for business owners.
Yeah, and it's also part of a wide range of measures to bolster the UAE's private sector following the COVID-19 pandemic striking the country. And Abu Dhabi in particular has been subsidizing water and electricity electricity for citizens in commercial and industrial sectors as well, stimulating small and medium enterprises and supporting them with hefty funds as well. And we've also seen across the country long-term visas being offered to investors and entrepreneurs and very talented people as well. UAE leadership also announcing strategies to double the industrial sector's contribution to the UAE's economic output. So wide-ranging reforms across the board with the aim of stimulating the economy, attracting foreign investors, and really retaining skilled talent here in the country.
I think retention of skilled talent is a key aspect here, because sadly there's a lot of you out there who sadly lost their jobs because of the pandemic, are still hoping that they would get rehired by their companies. But there's such exceptional talents that if they've got their own dreams of starting their own business and being their own bosses, but then the challenge of investing a huge amount just to start your trade license, that challenge is going to go away, and that's going to encourage these people to remain here and say, do you know what, I didn't get a job in the last 6 months, I have 15,000 dirham saved up which I can use to start my own business. Why not? And if it's 1,000 dirham for license now, or they say 1,000 dirhams, I'm sure with additional fees is going to go up a little bit, you still have the opportunity to remain and continue your dream and pursue your goals of what you wanted to achieve in the country. So a huge announcement, hopefully, fingers crossed, more Free Zone authorities and the Department of Economic Development across the Emirates will think and come up with a brilliant plan for these businesses to be able to renew their licenses for a lesser fee. Well, stay with us on the Morning Majlis with this wave of optimism. Let's shift our focus to what Sharjah in particular is doing to support the SMEs. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Notes from the Emirate indeed, and we're talking about support for SMEs. We've seen that with the nation's capital Abu Dhabi coming up with a new plan of reducing the license fees for businesses. Now, Sharjah Foundation for supporting entrepreneurs, Rawad, which is affiliated with the Sharjah Economic Development Department, has continued its efforts and initiatives to enhance the success of the projects in the Emirate. And this was all to overcome the challenges caused. Sultan Abdullah bin Hadda Al-Suwaidi, chairman of the Sharjah Economic Development Department, stressed the importance of concerted government and private efforts to support these SMEs, which are particularly run by Emiratis, to provide them support in various areas such as information and data, and projects and programs to enhance their presence and success in the market.
Yeah, and also director of the Rawad Foundation, Hamad Al Mahmoud, revealed that the total number of funded projects since the foundation's establishment to date has reached 70 projects. That's with a total actual financing value of 22.2 million dirhams. And among the results of the semi-annual report of the foundation's achievements for the year of 2021, Al-Mahmoud also indicated that 118 new projects basically joined the foundation during the past 6 months only. That's compared to 71 member projects in the same period last year. That's with a growth rate of 66.2%, in fact. Al-Mahmoud also added that during the first half of 2021, the membership of 87 projects was actually renewed. He added that the consultations provided to entrepreneurs during the period reached to 29 consultations.
Yes, indeed. And among the results of the Rawad initiatives and training programs, we've seen the graduation of 151 male and female trainees during the first half of the year, including 94 male and female entrepreneurs through 7 training programs and 13 professional diploma programs as well. Now, the UAE has set a number of targets for economic diversification, and among them is encouraging development across various sectors and supporting entrepreneurs in particular And experts say that an environment where entrepreneurs are supported and encouraged to innovate will have a very positive impact on long-run growth, allow the economy to adapt to changing technologies and market conditions, and most importantly, support the UAE's non-oil diversification efforts as well.
Just wonderful work in terms of supporting these SMEs, continuing their goals and aspirations. And look, when you are a business owner, support such as this, market presence enhanced, or let's say a huge projection or amplifying your presence is incredible. I think that's such a valuable support for these SMEs, and wonderful work that Urwad is doing to showcase the talents that is here in the Emirate of Sharjah, and we're certainly very proud of all of this. And with that thought of optimism, we leave you with the world of sports headlines, courtesy of Iman Al-Majali. We'll continue the discussions here on the Morning Majlis. We shall return with more discussions, this time focusing on external ties of Sharjah, and we'll continue the discussions from there on. You're listening to the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Hey everybody, good morning. We head over to China right now. There's a situation, in fact, a typhoon Infa has slammed into China's east coast province of Zhejiang, causing mass evacuations in Shanghai districts. Communities being drenched in knee-deep water, and 10,000 trees have been uprooted, although no immediate reports of any major damage so far. However, upon making its landfall, authorities have canceled hundreds of flights, warning residents to remain indoors in what is the latest natural disaster in a string of them that we've been seeing all around the world right now.
Yes, we are. Let's start locally. I mean, it's not bad weather. People love it at the moment. It's heavy rain and high winds in Al Ain. Forecasters are predicting rainfall in Al Ain and in the towns and villages near the mountains of Fujairah and Ras Al Khaimah during the daylight hours. So it is expected that most parts of that country, or our country here, is expected to face some more rain. So good news on that front. But looking at weather and how Mother Nature has been shifting its focus on let's say, avenging with the public and saying, look, if you mess up the environment, this is what you face. In the UK, we're seeing a flooding, and even hospitals have been asking patients to turn away. East London's Whips Cross and Newham hospitals have urged patients to use other A&Es for urgent care, and ambulances are being redirected. Torrential rain had caused severe flooding in homes, roads and stations. London's fire brigade said it had taken about 300 flooding-related calls in the space of a few hours. So Newham Hospital and Leytonstone areas in London, this is where the problem is persisting. But the issue is not just resorted to a few countries, or just these two countries. More countries, even the United States, is going through a bit of a situation.
They're definitely in a very alarming situation. NASA has released striking satellite images of wildfire smoke clouds covering vast swaths of the U.S. from the West Coast all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. The situation there is not really good. They're battling with the worst wildfires out there right now. Now, despite the efforts of firefighters battling the bootleg fire, for example, which is the raging flames of the nation's largest wildfire, continued to spread in southern Oregon as officials declared weather warnings in that area. The fire has scorched more than 400,000 acres as of yesterday. That's an expansion of more than 6,000 acres since Friday, but the fire is currently 46% contained. And in California also, it's battling with its biggest wildfire. It emerged with another blaze as it razed homes in a remote region in the state's north as of yesterday as well. So the situation in the States is not good. It's really it's battling the worst wildfires out there.
Yeah, and climate scientists say that unfortunately it seems their predictions are coming true now. And they're saying that despite the fact that they've been warning people for decades about this, we're seeing the impact of the burning of fossil fuels and human-driven climate change on the overall warming of the planet. And the effects that it has on weather. We're seeing more extreme weather events as a result, because when you warm up the planet, you get more frequent and intense heat waves. You also have the potential for large flooding events because the warm atmosphere can hold more temperature. They're also saying at the same time the extra heat can dry out the ground and you get worse droughts. So whatever extreme weather event it may be, it gets significantly worse because of climate change. They're saying all eyes now are on the behavior of great ice sheets. They're saying if we don't do anything about climate change now, the Antarctic ice sheet, the Greenland ice sheet, those ice sheets might just start melting away. The sea levels might rise. And in a worst case scenario, some of the world's major coastal cities might all be threatened. Tens of hundreds of millions of people could be displaced. So we have to make sure we do everything in our power to prevent that from happening, say scientists.
Yeah, and scientists also, we talked about it yesterday, about the big meeting that is taking place ahead of the COP26, and the researchers have begun discussions on this vital report that they'll be working on over the next 2 weeks after they go through calling it a wake-up call, a 40-page summary for policymakers, and let's see what this can do. But for the time being, I think a lot of countries are looking at introducing new measures. In fact, here on the Morning Majlis, we will be celebrating the works of eco-warriors. We'll be talking to you about an 11-year-old child in the UK who has started a walk for climate change. And then we've also got a 4-year-old who is in Brazil cleaning up beaches. So it starts young and it starts from the local level. It starts from the grassroots level as well. And this is what we'll be talking to you about. So that discussion is going to be later on in the program, just after 9 o'clock, when we celebrate the works of the eco-warriors. But for the time being, all we can do is hope for a better future.
Certainly will. And text us at 4215. Let us know what you think of climate change and efforts right now to curb the impact of that as well. And stay tuned to Pulse 95. Up next, we're going to be talking about the UAE economy and the factors driving its recovery according to the experts. Stay tuned.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Well, a new generation of media stars. They're actually coming our way here at the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, because the Sharjah Media Training Center, which is an affiliate of SBA, announced yesterday the start of registration for its 5th session of the free summer training program. It's called Future Media Stars, which will run starting August 1st until August 25th. So it's a virtual program, and it's aimed for young people aged between 10 and 16, according to the center. And registration is open for only a week through the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority website. So that is the www.smtc.sba.net.ae/participants/registration. So all you can do is just head on to the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, and you can look through how you can sign up for the Future Media Stars program. Again, it's for young people aged between 10 and 16. It's going to be running from August 1st until August 25th. And this program is basically designed to introduce participants to the fundamentals of media work and its developmental role in society, as well as to help them basically enrich their skills in radio and television production as well, creative writing as well, digital media work ethics, and technical aspects of media work as well.
Yeah, this is pretty cool stuff.
Competitors we have.
It's like everybody's a star now. Everybody's got a TikTok page. Everybody's got a YouTube account. Everybody's a content creator in a way. So that's
so true.
Skill is more relevant than ever. Presenting information in a compelling way.
It's getting so hard
yeah.
for people, because the competition is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
How will you be able to stand out? That's the question now. Because with so many people, they're coming up with so many ideas and new ways to be a trend, let's just say.
Yeah, I think it's a very important summer camp to make sure to help people understand that, look, there's a lot more than just speaking and looking at the camera in the world of media.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very fun filled summer camp to take part in. I'm really glad that Sharjah Media Training Centre has this as well. So the Future Media Stars program from the 1st of August to the 25th of August. We're not that far away, so get your registrations in. It's aimed at people aged 10 to 16. And it's so important to be doing such kind of training, because I think internships in media really, really groom you to understand what the world of media is like. And we've had this discussion here on the program. In fact, we did it during Eid al-Adha first day when we had the special Eid programming. Anna Schofield, Amar Duri and myself talked about our life behind the microphones and how it is and how we continue to broadcast and what the amount of work that goes into producing and presenting a show. And the art of winging it was one thing that we talked about in greater detail. So let's gather our presenters' own thoughts here on the Morning Majlis, opening up the discussions in terms of what you guys view as one of the key skills required in media, or something that you would say helped you pursue and progress the career.
Let's start with Ahmed.
So let's start with Rania. I'd like to hear your take first. I'll bounce it off you first.
The thing is, I come from a different background. I'm
Yeah.
the only one here on Pulse 95 where I come from a different background. I come from a pharmaceutical background. I don't have much media training, to be honest, as much as you guys, of course. I did, but not as much as you guys. You guys come from purely journalism backgrounds and media backgrounds. And it's been a great journey so far. I've been in it for 2 years so far, and it's been amazing. One thing I believe, from my point of view, is just being yourself, not being like anyone else. Being authentic in your flaws and in your strong points. In both aspects, you have to be authentic and be yourself and stand out. And you have to put your own mark. Don't be like anyone else. That is the thing. Don't try to copy the norm. That's what I feel. That's my 2 cents on being successful in media.
Yeah, I think it's just, if you say something, just know what you're saying and say it in a way that is simple, and just don't use too much fluff. Make sure you keep it tight, and so that every word you utter has impact on whoever's listening or watching. I think just being mindful of that is very important.
Yeah,
I think one of the greatest skills for journalists and even presenters, and a lot of people get this wrong, is the way they speak. Well, that's just the art. I think the biggest skill for most presenters is the art of being able to listen. You have to be more of a listener than a talker.
That's true.
When it comes to your broadcasting, because not only are you feeding off if you have co-hosts, but you're also feeding off what people are saying to you or what you hear in the surroundings. You know, when you're attending these press conferences, or whether you're interviewing someone, you're always listening to the key quote that they have to say to make
and build off your questions based on that, and make it your headline.
I think that the world of news and the world of broadcast as well, the biggest thing that sells is the caption or the headline. You want to read the article based on the headline. You want to read or listen to a show based on its name, based on whatever caption they've got for that particular video. And I think that's just so important, that you have to be a better listener than a talker or a speaker, and then it all comes and rolling. So that would be our 2 cents to share with the future media stars.
That's true. And not only that, but you talked about being active listeners, which is very important. It's key in anything, not just in media, really. It's in key. Even when I used to also work in sales at one point in my life, and that was also one of the key points in being a successful salesperson, is active listening. your customer, basically. See their needs through active listening, but not just listening. When you're talking about talking, you also have to be close to the listener. You have to understand what the listener wants to hear. Sometimes you just have to kind of like brush off the rules. You cannot always go by the rules. Sometimes you just have to say what the listener wants to hear, or basically design your conversation according to what the listener wants to hear.
Yeah, it's very important indeed.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully the listeners who are future media people who are aspiring to be media stars received good training. You can hire us to be a coach if you want. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll send you the details. But I mean, this is just great, and to have this opportunity to grow and Ahmed's done internships with local dailies as well.
Yes.
So I think those sort of experiences are the key.
Yeah, indeed. And let us know. Text us at 4215 if you've got any aspiring media experiences and such, if you'd like to be a presenter and such. I'm sure Abdul Karim has a lot of pointers as someone who's been doing this for quite some time now. And stay tuned to Pulse 95. We've got a lot of discussions lined up next. This is the Morning Majlis here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.